Everybody, let's go ahead and get started for tonight. I hope you've all had a great day and week. Yes, and happy Groundhog Day. The best holidays of the year. Okay. So today we're going to be working some more on our egg dino texture. Or not just a texture, but a whole bunch of stuff with it. I want to try and finish up the texture and then we'll write the shader and maybe rig the model tonight. Rigging should actually be pretty quick. Alright, let's see. So if we open up in Unity, you can get a better look at it. And it looks, it's pretty good. The final shader will be more cell shaded. And so it won't, like you won't be able to see every facet of the model. In fact, maybe we can go ahead and just get the cell shader right now. So Unity has a built-in cell shader if you go to the effects standard package. And I only want the toon shading. Then it'll import into the standard assets folder. And so what? Material. Okay, so we just use the default one that comes imported with Blender. So we can't change the shader there, so we'll make our own. Create material. And I guess I'll just call this egg dynomat. And the texture, that. I guess I didn't need to set the texture yet. So really we just want a lit toon shaded. And so we don't have a ramp right now. I think Unity has a default one. We want to make our own, but I haven't done that yet, obviously. So it has this toon gradient. It's just simple from black to white. It's not what we'll want to use for the final product, for sure. Okay, yeah, and the reason it looks the same is because I haven't actually applied this yet. Okay, so now it has the toon shader, and you can see that a lot of the facets here just blend together, and it ends up looking flatter instead of seeing every single square. Now that I think about it, yeah, these, I'm not sure how low poly I want it to be, but we'll just go with this for now. Also, some weird things like inside of the nose is being lit because the normal. Not sure how I would fix that. Actually, maybe I just need to make the color even darker. Yeah, let's move the light around a bit. So, rotate tool. So yeah, you can see how the toon shader affects it. Right now it looks a bit too washed out, and that's just because the ramp that I have in the material right now is just pure white. So what I need to do is we'll have a different ramp probably that will stay light a lot farther, and then towards the and then just get dark at the very end. And of course I want to add a lot of stuff to the shader because it's pretty simple. Right now it's just the toon lit. And the good thing is it uses a surface, Unity's surface shader mode, so that it can take advantage of standard shadows and other features. And how this works is that in this pragma line, which you'll notice a lot in shaders, helps you define a certain function. You can have a custom lighting function for the toon ramp, and this will just be called during the lighting pass for each vertex. Or actually, it might be fragment. Yeah, it's a fragment because we actually return the color for a specific pixel. And from that, instead of just using normally, you'd use the light direction and then the normal for this face, and take the dot product, which basically tells you how close are they matching. And then you would just multiply the color by that to determine the light and shadow. But for a toon shader, instead of doing that, you actually then sample the ramp texture at a specific position based on dot product. And that way you can have, well, it gives you a toon shading effect because you have more control over the lighting ramp. That's basically it. Some other things we'll want to add here is I want to have a rim light effect. And also the eggshell will need specular lighting because its eggshells are shiny, so we'll have to add that in for the to make it work with the toon shader. But that's good for now. We'll just use this basic shader. A couple things I noticed looking at the model. Oops, what did I just move? I get so confused because in Unity you right click and drag to rotate, but in Blender you middle click and drag to rotate. But anyway, so there's a couple problems I noticed with the texture. Right here are specifically the UVs. There's like a hard edge because these vertices are too high on the gradient. It looks good up here, but not down here, so I need to fix those. Also, underneath, I don't think it's good that you can see this red. I don't know, I mean, how often are you going to look under there? So I'm not sure I will want to fix it because, for one, it's going to be kind of a pain because I'll have to create some more geometry and then basically unwrap the entire head again. Unless I want there to be a seam right there. I don't really. Then of course the other big thing we need to do is add some interest to the egg by adding spots and cracks. And then we do the colors a bit. But one thing I for sure want to fix are these lines. I'll press tab to go into edit mode. And control tab to switch to face selection. Oh, and yesterday I was asking, or trying to figure out how I can switch pivot modes easily. If anybody remembers, because you can have the global pivot mode, or you can have stuff rotate or scale towards the 3D cursor, and you can press the comma and period buttons to switch between that. Okay, so now I just, oops, what I want to do. I just want to watch these points, and it's kind of hard to see with the orange overlay, but not sure that I can get rid of the selection but still see this. But I just need to move some of these down. Problem is if I do that, it's gonna like, there'll be a seam at one of these cracks, so I need to actually select the whole loop. Alright, so Alt click. Okay, so the lower ones I think are actually the ones that are higher up. So if I select two of these and then just slightly bring down not be E to move. That is helping a little bit. Can I turn off the wireframe? That might help. Oh, it's because I have see-through mode on, I think. Oh yeah, no material. I guess I need to get rid of these borders. I don't think it will let me unless I go into object mode. Okay, so there's still a slight highlight around it. But I mean, there is a point right there. Okay, so I'll just press Z to get back to this and maybe down a bit more. Yeah, I think that's a lot better. I have the same problem over here. No, this looks a lot smoother in general. Okay, so one other thing I realized is that for the back of the tail, like right now I have it all green, but the back of the tail should actually maybe be a different color. But I don't know if I want to introduce another color in here because it's just going to be kind of weird. So I thought I might just reuse the nail color as the lizard's belly. Alright, so let's switch to edit mode and do that. I don't know if it should go all the way up to the tip. Probably I should cut another triangle here or something. Go down here. Right, and then switch to faces. Oh yeah, I should switch the render mode. Okay, well, never mind. I was gonna say shaded wireframe, but that's what it is already. Where is that here? So now I don't have to worry about decoupling because I'm actually gonna. Guess I want that. Walk this over to the eggshell color. I don't know if I like that more or not. Definitely not the eggshell color. Oops, it's going back too far. Usually I thought it would have reselected. How do I redo? Under redo and Control Shift Z. It might be too late though because I already switched to edit mode. Yeah. Okay, well that's kind of annoying, but it's not like what I did was that much trouble. Okay, so now we'll just select these faces again. Okay, let's try moving it to the claw color. No. It does add like a little detail to it, but technically the bottom of its feet should also be that color, but they'll never really be seen. Well, I'll go with it. I could always add another color over here or something. look in Unity, see how it looks. Yeah, that's pretty good, I think. And yeah, there's still, like, it's still bright right there, but that's because of the light. I think it's okay still. Alright, so now we're ready to... So I have two things I could do. Fix this red. I'm still not sure if I want to. It's kind of cute, actually, now that I think about it. Or just add, and then I need to add detail to the egg. Okay, so let's do the egg. I think in general the egg might be a little bit too low poly. But I don't think it'll be easy to... Well, I guess I could just add some loops, but it won't stay completely round. I guess it depends on how obvious I want it to be. And also... the shader, like, maybe I should go ahead and make an actual toon ramp shader like I want. That way I can see how it looks. Because even down here on the foot you can kind of tell it's squares, but I don't know if that's really a bad thing. It just depends on what kind of style I want to go for. Let's make a new document properties. The Unity toon shader. Big, or was it, what were the dimensions? 256 by 2. Okay, and now make a rectangle. Oh, and this is in millimeters. 6 by 2. And if I move into here, I can change the X and Y 0, 0. Millimeters 2. Alright, and now add a gradient to it. And we go to the gradient editor, and then we just click on each point to decide what colors. So yeah, it'll be nearly black. Then we'll have a warm color because most of the game will take place outside, so it makes sense for it to be yellowish. And I'll move this down so that we'll have a lot at max color. In fact, one thing you can do is, instead of using a gradient, you can also just have like blocks. I wonder how that would look. Well, let's try this first. As okay, I don't have... I guess we should let the mod specify this texture, but I'll deal with that later. I'll write a note. Mod specify toon shader ramp. Oh, well, I don't have to do this because the mods will actually import their material into the game, so they'll get to do that regardless. So I guess this can actually go in with the egg dino because this will just be the shading ramp. And I'll export page. Shader ramp. Oh, that's not the right folder. I actually remembered. Right now, save that. Now we've got the shader ramp. I think it can still be an sRGB because it is a color texture. It doesn't need bitmaps. Wrap mode, clamp. Apply that. I should also do that to the egg dino texture. We don't need bitmaps of this really either. Yeah, bilinear, wrap mode, also clamp. Okay, so now the egg dino material, I can add the shader ramp as the tune ramp. Oh. Why is it black on this side? That does not look like what I made here. Oh, because I think this color is... That's why it looks a little weird. The alpha is 0 here. I was wondering why there was so little yellow. Let's try that again. Back to export. And Unity should automatically update that. Okay. So what is going on? There's some artifacts there. Maybe it's because of the shadows. Yeah, if you turn off shadows, it does look better. Still getting shadows though. Oh, because yeah, there's child objects. Also looks pretty washed out, but I think that's just because the color is too bright. That doesn't look good for the sun though. Something like that is better, I think. We'll mess around with the lighting system. Maybe hard shadows is what'll look better for this. No, that's much worse. Well, you know, I should see how it looks in the game mode because the editor mode can have bad shadows sometimes. I can still see some streaking. Yeah, that's not a great system. The shadows look better, or work better with a higher polygon model. That's what they're made for. But we might be able to fix them later, but for now I'll just turn it off. Don't want to... Okay. That does look better, and it's not like you can't see like every single square as much. It's still kind of obvious, but not what I want to do. So I want to model some spots into the dino now, kind of like what I did here in the concept. I'm thinking they'll be like hexagon shaped. So I need to, because of the UV method we're using, we actually have to model that into the model itself. So let's get to it. I think the knife tool, my friend here. Where to start cutting? Let's add more loops. I think have to be perfect. Okay, let's look from above. 7, I think. Here. Oh, I want it to be center. You hear my dog being wild right now. Let's see. Okay, so I think will give us a little bit more to work with. I guess now I should. I wish I did this earlier. Hi Tashi, thanks for stopping by. Do I make games all by myself? This